Hey everybody, so it's been a while. I haven't done a live video in the group in a while, and I just wanted to jump on and talk about a really important topic with regards to getting back on track, and that is macro management, managing your macros. So if you're catching this on the replay, my name's Amanda Nyberg. I'm a registered dietitian specializing in bariatric and weight loss nutrition. And my goal is to enthusiastically empower people who want to get back on track with their health and wellness through weight loss. So one of the things that I always see with patients coming back into the clinic and struggling with weight regain is a lot of times they're just confused in terms of what they should be doing. Should I be counting calories? Should I be counting carbs? Should I be watching my fats? What do I need to do with regards to my macro management in order to get back on track with weight loss? So when we talk about macros are simply fat, protein, and carbohydrates. You're never really going to find success with long-term weight loss if you only focus on calories. It is a lot more to do with your macro management than it is with your caloric management. So I want to give you an idea of kind of what you should think about when you're trying to get back on track with regards to your macro management. Now, typically, a lot of patients will fall back into that old mentality, low calorie, low fat, and it never works. Whenever we restrict calories and we restrict fat, it really takes a hit on our metabolism. And let's face it, it's really hard to consume a uber low fat diet and low calorie diet. There's just too many foods out there that are good for you that are going to increase your caloric intake that you have to avoid. So the focus should not be on caloric reduction. It should not be on specifically fat reduction. What you really want to focus on if you're looking to get back on track is protein and carbohydrates. So a lot of times patients will find that over time they've stopped eating enough protein. And I see this a lot with bariatric patients because protein sits really heavy in the pouch. And it really gives you somewhat of an uncomfortable feeling. So a lot of people will come back in the clinic and they'll say, I don't tolerate protein. Well, so my question is, are you taking bites no bigger than the tip of your pinky? 4 years out, 5 years out, 10 years out. Are you chewing that bite 20 to 30 times? Are you slowing down between bites? Because a lot of times we just kind of get out of the habit of those simple lifestyle changes that we need to make. Small bites, chew, chew, chew. So now we're back to taking really big bites of protein. We're chewing 1 to 2 times, and it feels horrible in our pouch. It kind of gets stuck, it clogs up our pouch, it sits really heavy. So patients tend to eat less protein. So when they eat less protein, they're not getting what the body needs in order to effectively metabolize fat. So one of the things that I always talk about with my clients when they start trying to get back on track is, are you getting enough protein? So look in that. Think about how much protein that you're getting and ways that you can kind of increase that. And then it all falls back into carb management, because generally if you've stopped eating the protein because that sits really heavy in your pouch, then you're probably back to eating a lot of carbohydrates, a lot of slider foods. Slider foods go down really easy. They sit really nice in the pouch. They don't create that pain and discomfort. So patients tend to rely more on slider foods just because they feel better. So you really want to focus on managing your carbohydrates with regards to weight loss. One of the things that I always tell people is start tracking. I did a challenge a couple of weeks ago with you guys. I challenged you to track your intake every day for a week, and then post your macros for me to see. So what I'll usually tell someone is, don't change anything, track everything. So if you're looking to get back on track, start tracking. Download MyFitnessPal. It's one of my favorite apps. It's free, it's easy to use. Change nothing in what you're eating, but put it all together. I work with so many people that say, I'm eating low carb, I'm getting my protein. And then when they start putting in every morsel that goes into their mouth, they're not eating low carb. They're eating a half a cup of ketchup every day. And that equals, 50 carbs. So when you really look at the nitty gritty, you can kind of figure out where you're going wrong, especially if you're one of these people that are, thinks, I'm doing all the right things. I'm eating all the right foods. If you're not tracking, there's no way to know 100% if that is true. So download MyFitnessPal, start tracking, change nothing. Then figure out where you are. Are you getting 60 to 80 grams of protein a day? If not, bump it up. You don't need a ton of protein. You don't need much more than 60, 80 grams of protein a day. Excess protein is converted to sugar. So this whole notion of eat a ton of protein and you're gonna lose weight, it's just not true. Too much protein will have a negative impact just as too much sugar would. So you wanna find that right amount of protein. And for most people, it's just gonna be right around that 60 to 80, maybe 80 to 100, depending on your current weight. So make sure you're getting enough protein. Secondly, how many carbs are you getting? Are you getting 30 carbs a day, or are you getting 200 carbs a day, 300 carbs a day, 400 carbs a day? The average American eats 400 to 500 carbs a day. So most likely, if you are eating the standard American diet, I call it the SAD diet, then you're probably getting a lot more carbs than you think you are. So if you figure out what that baseline is, then you can modify your diet based on that. If your baseline is you're consuming 300 carbs a day and you're kind of maintaining, but you want to lose, if you reduce your carbs to 200 a day, you're going to lose weight. People think that you've got to go on these crazy low carb diets. You've got to do these 5-day pouch tests. I'm always like, what do you do after the 5 days? What do you eat? What's the goal here? You've not stretched your pouch. You can't shrink your pouch. We know that to be the fact. So I don't even understand, when people go on these crazy liquid diets and what they think they're going to get out of it. So if you're looking for a really easy way to get back on track, then start tracking and make adjustments from that. Again, if you're getting 300 carbs, back down to 200 carbs. You'll lose weight. If you're getting 40 grams of protein, bump it up to 60. It will help you lose weight. But stop focusing on calories and fats. Fats are not the enemy. Fats fill you up and keep you full. We've got to get out of this kind of old school notion to, focus on fearing fats. That's not what we want to focus on. And then overall caloric restriction is not a good idea. Just reducing your calories is not going to improve your weight loss if you're still getting 200 carbs a day, if you're still getting, 10 grams of protein a day. So if you're looking for tips and you want to find a way for you to get back on track, I would say start tracking. Start tracking everything you eat. Start focusing on macro management. Focus on getting your protein, focus on controlling your carbohydrates, and that alone will help you to get back on track. I'd love to hear your comments, what apps you love to use, how tracking helps you get back on track. Put those in the comments below because we can help each other. And then I challenge you over the next week, over the next couple of days, track. Post your macros. Let's see what you're doing. Let's see how we can help each other. So I hope you guys have an amazing Tuesday. Keep working on getting back on track. That's what we're here for. Talk to you soon.